Hello and welcome back. I am jeffgrantMEDIA and it's once again that time of the month. It is time for my Year 5 Indigo Invitational monthly check-in for my SoSo Brothers 20-ounce Ghost Selvedge denim jeans and my Rose Anvil Togo wallet. We have blown past month 6. Just this morning I did my month 7 check-in, so we are now past that. We are well into the race. We are in the back 9, the home stretch, and the fades, they are starting to look pretty sick if I do say so myself. But first, before we get into all that, let's have a word from this episode's sponsor. Introducing Arc Fomore gloves. They have a pretty wide selection of gloves, but we will be focusing on the Spider Silk and the Yellowstone Gentleman. The Spider Silk, or as they call it, the Second Skin Precision Liner, comes in at $109 USD. These gloves provide full hand thermal control while maintaining maximum tactile feedback. The heating zone has elements precisely placed to cover the back of the hands and all 5 fingers. The glove also features an interesting flip-top design for the index finger and thumb. This is for high precision tasks such as photography, videography, touchscreens, and flying drones. These flip up fingertips will allow you to fully utilize and maximize your camera gear without removing your gloves and freezing your paws in the frigid temperatures. These are an ultra thin, lightweight profile that have a stretch fabric that fits seamlessly under any glove, or you can use them as a standalone glove for daily use, as I have personally been using them for walking the dog in these very cold 20-degree mornings. Each glove has its very own battery pack pocket that features a waterproof zipper to ensure the electrical system is safe and dry in outdoor inclement weather conditions. Inside the box you will find a carrying bag, a pair of gloves, 2 batteries, and a charging cable capable of charging both batteries at the same time. Now the Yellowstone Gentlemen, as they say, are the warm shell, come in at $48 USD. These are meant to build up the ultimate waterproof barrier with high efficiency heat retention. These are built with premium genuine leather that was selected for its natural balance of extreme wind blocking and high abrasion resistance. The insulation, or the warm shell design of the Yellowstone Gentleman, is designed using high performance thermal fills to trap a static layer of air, creating a natural heat lock. You can use these gloves as a standalone system, or you can use them in conjunction with the Spider Silk liners once you start hitting the very cold single digits or below. Inside the box you will find a nice carrying bag and your pair of Yellowstone Gentleman gloves. If you are unsure of your glove size, do not worry, Arc Fomore has you covered. They have a size chart and detailed instructions of how to measure your hand so you get the right fit every time. For more information or for purchase, there are links below in both the description and the pinned comment of this video. Okay, alright, I have now been basically living in these jeans for the past 7 months. I think there's only been like 4 or 5 days that I actually missed not wearing these, even in the instances where I was wearing a different pair of pants, or when I did one of my 2 cold soaks or my wash, I still managed to not miss a day and still got these on my body at least for a couple of hours in the evening. So we are well into it, and I will say I am very pleased with the way my fades are looking. But if we hop onto Wear Tracker, once again, no affiliation in any way, shape, or form with this app, we can see that to date I have 204 wears in these jeans. At a cost of $250 that I did pay for with my own money, I am now at a cost per wear of $1.23. And yes, that date is correct. It is currently April 1st, 2026, but this is not an April Fool's trick. Yes, I have actually worn these jeans 204 times to this date. If we look down in the notes section of the app, we could see that I have done 1 cold soak in September, right around when I first got them. I did 1 machine wash post New York City Marathon because I sat in something funky on the subway. And yes, I just did a 2nd cold soak with hand agitation, no soap, on 3/29, which was in fact 2 days ago. And I will say I was trying to hold off on that cold soak until after I filmed this episode, but we went to an Easter egg hunt and it was super muddy, and Miss Hazel Fantastic's hands and pants were just completely covered in mud, and I was her paper towel, so my jeans got completely covered in mud. But I did manage to do that on day 200, so I managed to wear them for 200 days before I did my second cold soak, but here is Jeff in action doing the cold soak. We have achieved 200 wears yesterday, and we also got our jeans covered in mud because Miss Hazel Fantastic went to an Easter egg hunt, and she was completely covered in mud, and yeah, I had her wipe her hands on my jeans, so they got all muddy. And then I also helped my parents do a little project at their house, and I got incredibly sweaty. So it is time to give my jeans their second soak in 200 wears. And there we go. That was about an hour. Cold soak, hand agitation, no soap, and yeah, that water's pretty dirty. I will say in my defense, my left leg yesterday was basically completely covered in mud. So a lot of that is probably, I mean, don't get me wrong, I haven't washed these since November. It is now the end of March, but a lot of that will probably have been the mud from yesterday. Because we were at an Easter egg hunt and Miss Hazel Fantastic got basically covered in mud. They spread the eggs out over the grass. It was muddy, and her pants, pink pants, were brown when she was done, and her hands, they were covered in mud. So she was wiping her pants and her hands all over me. So I was completely covered in mud as well, and I'll be pleased to announce this old ratty shower is getting replaced in 2 weeks. Finally, we're waiting for the mini tots to stop doing things like this before we spent a ton of money on a bathroom remodel. So this is all going to get fixed and updated very, very soon. And if you didn't take note, I was actually wearing my pajamas because I did that cold soak first thing in the morning the next day, and I still managed to dry my jeans and wear them probably by about 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the afternoon the same day. So I didn't miss a day. But now let's get into these jeans. You've probably seen me wearing them in just about every review I have done over the past 7 months, barring the couple of pants that I have done for reviews, and those have been the other instances where I wore the pants I was reviewing for the better part of the day and then switched back into my jeans at least for a couple of hours in the evening. And at this point, these jeans have become very, very comfortable. They are well broken in and very soft to the touch, almost like heavyweight sweatpants. But if we want to take a first glance at the fade, you can see I have some nice fading and whiskering going on across my lap area. If we zoom in on my left pocket, you can see some significant creasing and whiskers going on through the upper portion of the pocket, as well as some nice fading for me accessing my left pocket. Coming down the leg, you can see more of these really nice whiskers forming, and as we pass across the lap, you can see on my right thigh, we are also seeing some really, really nice whiskers forming. Coming up on my right pocket, you can see probably a little bit more wear here. If we pull back the pocket, you can see that fifth pocket has some more fading, and that would be because that is the pocket that I access more frequently. I keep my change, my guitar picks, and my earbuds in that pocket. Now, if you want to take a quick pass over the fly, you can see this has some significant fading going on here because this is a very high contact point of the jeans. You are touching this area at a bare minimum of twice a day to put the jeans on and take the jeans off, and then throughout the day as you go to the bathroom. Now, if you want to come down here to actually my left pocket, we can see some fraying going on here. This is a very new development, something that I didn't even notice until I was filming these fades, but we seem to have a little bit of a hole starting here. So yeah, that is brand new. That's cool. And I'm honestly not sure what that is from. And if we want to get a little tighter here on my right pocket, you can see the fade mark down here. That is from my earbuds because I do keep them, as I said, in my right pocket. And I do access these quite frequently, but because it is a bit of a bulge in my pocket, it does create this little bit of a high point. So we are getting a nice fade there. But if you want to take a quick pan down each of my legs, starting with the right, you can see the whiskers and the fading going on in my thighs, coming down to my knees that are very white, and then coming all the way down to the cuffs. And then if we want to pan down my left leg, once again, we are seeing some nice whiskers and fading throughout the thigh, coming down to that left knee that was lagging behind the right for some time, but it is catching up nicely. And while I think the right still has a little bit better fade on it, it is certainly looking really, really good. But let's start focusing on these knees just a little bit. We'll start with the right knee. It definitely has a more distinct oval shape to it with a lot more white, and it is looking great. Where if we zip over here to my left knee, you can see that it's not as concentrated in the center, and it doesn't have the distinct shape that we have in the right leg, but we do have quite a nice fade going on here. And I believe the reason that we have such a distinct shape in the right knee is because I take a right knee often. That is the knee that I will bend it down onto whenever I am playing with my daughter, picking something up, or picking up some dog poop on one of our walks. Now, if you want to flip the jeans over, please disregard some of this wet, because if you can see the ground, it rained, but we are seeing some nice fading going on across the seat of my pants. If we zoom in here, you can clearly see my wallet and my knife fade on my back right pocket, both on the outside of the pocket. And if we pull back the top, you can see the fade mark from the top of my knife rubbing in. And as we pan over here to my left pocket, you can see that once looked like scratch marks from my thumb going into my pocket to grab my phone, now is a pretty consistent light fade. You can't tell that that is scratch marks from my thumbnail digging into my pocket to grab my phone out of my back left pocket. And then if we want to take a wider look here, as we zoom down, we could see the seat is looking really good. And we come down, we have some really nice honeycombs forming on the back of both my right and my left knees. These are looking really nice. Again, disregard the wet spots. It had just rained right before I filmed. But if we want to zoom in here on my left knee, you are seeing some really nice crisp honeycombs. I will say these were probably a little bit crisper set the other day before I cold soaked, but just wearing them for a day or two post, they are already starting to come back and they look great. I'm very pleased with the way that these honeycombs are coming out. Now, if we want to get into my meat and potatoes, you could see we have some nice fading going on in the crotch and butt area. It's very light and is starting to match really nicely with the rest of the jeans. It's actually getting hard to see the fades because overall the entire jean is starting to fade nicely. But if we want to zoom in just a little bit more, you could see along the seam we were getting some really nice wear, and this would be friction wear from, you know, my thighs rubbing as I'm walking. So you can see some fraying going on right there in the bottom of the groin area and then along the inner thigh in each seam of the legs. So overall, I am very pleased with the fades that I'm getting out of my jeans now. They started out really good, but right at this point we are heating up as the weather is starting to warm up a little outside. I'm getting a little bit more sweaty, so that moisture is also going to help to elevate and speed up these fades, if you will. So it's only going to get better from here while we are in the home stretch. But now let's check out the Rosa Anvil Togo wallet. You could see for this leg of the journey, we are using the Rosa Anvil Blood Core Togo wallet, and it is looking really nice. We have some nice creases set here. You can clearly see the outline of a card on the front there. The back is a little bit more indistinguishable because this is where the cash will sit in my wallet. So there is a bulge there, but not quite that same distinct square that we are getting from the credit card in the front. We got some, it's hard to see here actually, but we have some nice creasing going on here along the spine. It's looking really good. And then along the edge, you can see we have a little bit of crush going on from my my pocket knife. And while you were able to see a lot of this red originally because that is the seam of the leather, we are starting to see quite a bit more because we are getting some wear on the wallet from my pocket knife, because this is the side that orientates towards my knife inside my pocket. So we are starting to finally bleed on our Blood Core wallet. If we pull out the bulk of my credit cards, you can see I did put one back in here to cover up a credit card number that's actually embossed in the leather. We can see we are getting some nice wear. Again, it's kind of hard to see on the black as opposed to the veg tan, but you can see in this light here, you're getting a glare. You got a high rub point here, high contact point here, and then it's a little duller here because this is covered by a card. So we're getting, you can see on the edges here, quite a bit of, there's a shine, there's a sheen there, and that's actually from the wallet kind of rubbing against itself both as I walk and as I sit down, and just as I articulate my body, the wallet is going to kind of, you know, adjust and slide up and down a little bit, and it's kind of creating wear inside the wallet as well as on the outside of the wallet. And you can see it is quite shiny now, and again, that is from just rubbing around on the inside of my jeans as I'm moving, because I'm sitting, as I'm walking, as I'm taking in and out. But if we get a little bit closer here, you can see we do have a significant amount of wear. Again, not as easy to see on the black blood core version as it is to see on the veg tan version, but we are getting quite a bit of nice fade in there. You can see it's the side I keep my cash in. Behind this is a couple other cards stashed back there, if I can speak. But overall, we are looking really, really great. And this thing, it feels so nice now. It is really softened up quite a bit. It's very soft. It's very supple, yet still really durable. You can see there are no big scratches or gouges. Really, the only place we are seeing the blood, and again, it's coming through much better now, even though this was the edge of the wallet where you could see it originally. It's getting some nice wear because this side faces my pocket knife in my back pocket, but unlike the veg tan that has a big battle wound here, that was because I fell, not because the wallet really took any extra damage, but I slipped on ice and fell. We don't see any big gouges or scratching going on in the wallet. So even though it has softened up quite a bit and it's very supple, it's still incredibly durable. And we are seeing really very little wear on this wallet. And again, I am now doing my month 7 check-in for the jeans in the wallet. And both of these wallets had a month of wear on them before I did this. And I started with the blood core. So the blood core now has at least 5, if not 6 months of wear on it, which is at least 1 month more, at this point I think 2 months more than the veg tan version, and it is looking absolutely great. It just looks great. And I love this blood core. I actually have the Rose Anvil Goral Smugs, the collab in the blood core leather. I love this leather so much that when Goral reached out to me to do the pair of their shoes, I said, hey, can I do the Rose Anvil collab in the blood core, because I absolutely love that leather. One of my favorite leathers that I've ever touched in my life. And they said yes. So I have the wallet and I have a pair of the shoes in this blood core from Rose Anvil because I love this leather so much. So leather working in, feels great. Jeans well worn in at this point. So overall, I am incredibly happy with the path that I am on for both the way my wallets are wearing and the way that my jeans are wearing for my 7-month check-in for year 5 of the Indigo Invitational. We are in the home stretch, but we're not there yet. We still have, what, 5 more months to go? We still have April, May, June, July, August, and then our final check-in in September. We started September? Yes, we started September. So we have 5 months of wear and then our final check-in. So while we're in the back 9, we still have a ways to go. I'm very excited to wear these throughout the summer and put some sweat equity into them. And yeah, I mean some sweat inside the jeans. Because while that does sound a little bit gross, it is going to escalate the fades that much more in these jeans. So don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Smash that big red button and ring that bell right next to it so you get notifications next time I post a brand new video, like my 8th month update on my jeans and the veg tan version of the Rose Anvil Togo wallet. Good night.